All right, we are back. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network. I am Ryan Hartson. Corey's off today, so you have me. Moving on, in our Week 3 preview, we split this into two parts, break down every game in the NFL. I'll go through some of the bad and average games right now, and then we'll break down the bigger matchups, and it's a strange week in the league. And I like how they did this, too. A lot of bad games, but at the same time, a lot of really good games. So this is going to make for a pretty interesting weekend in the league. And hopefully we get a lot of close games out of some of these. Because, you get a lot of bad teams playing each other. So, you look at a team like the Bengals. We'll start off here. The Bengals could be... the Bengals were supposed to be the worst team in the league. They're 2-1. Rookie quarterback. Wow. That's impressive for the Bengals. Eventually when they start running into Pittsburgh and Baltimore, they're going to fall back. But for now, hey, it's all right. But, again, are they for real? Hell no. Hell no. All right, let's get started. Jacksonville and Carolina. Blaine Gabbert versus Cam Newton. It's an interesting game just because of the two rookie quarterbacks going at it. The rest of the teams are, all right. So it's an average game. But how is Newton going to play 3 straight weeks with 400 yards? Yeah, maybe. Jacksonville is that bad. And you've also got Blaine Gabbert. How's he going to do in his debut? You're going to see a heavy dose of Maurice Jones-Drew in this game because they only want Gabbert throwing about 17 times. So it's going to be a run-oriented game. I think you're going to see a lot of handoffs, but it's going to be very, very close. At this point, I trust Newton more than I trust Gabbert. So that's where I'll be headed with that pick. San Francisco and Cincinnati. The Niners are interesting. They are going to be in every game with the way they play. Really good defense, running the football. They don't make too many mistakes. As long as Alex Smith doesn't lose the game, all Alex Smith has to do is manage the game. And then they're going to be okay. The 49ers might be okay. Like 7-9 instead of 4-12. So much for, Andrew Luck going to San Francisco to see his old football coach. So that's the Niners could be a little better than expected. They're going to Cincinnati. Rookie quarterback Andy Dalton, he's playing all right. AJ Green, he's gotten into a little bit of a rhythm. Marvin Lewis might actually keep his job. Well, he'll always keep his job because Mike Brown doesn't fire anybody. Mike Brown doesn't even know what day it is, so I don't know. Miami and Cleveland. In Cleveland, Miami going on the road for the first time this year. Played great against the Patriots. Played awful last week against the Texans. How's he going to respond? It's at home for Cleveland. Colt McCoy had an all right game last week. Is he going to continue to develop? I think he's going to be one of the next great ones. So I'm all excited. Peyton Hillis's massive biceps had the flu this week. So hopefully he comes back and he's healthy so he can get running the ball. Who knew the Madden curse caused stomach flu? Who knew? It's interesting. So it's a terrible game with a couple of bad teams. But that whole Colt McCoy, Chad Henne thing, a lot of running, not much of a game. It's going to be close, but it's going to be close because both teams are bad. Denver and Tennessee, same thing. It's going to be close because both teams are bad. Kyle Orton and Matt Hasselbeck, there's nothing I can say. It's just an average game. It's in Tennessee. Hopefully Chris Johnson will run for more than 35 yards. Seriously, let's go, dude. You hold out for all that money, and then you get like 28 yards a game from the guy. He's running for like 2.5 a carry or something stupid. Like, let's go, man. So there's that. Kansas City and San Diego. It's in San Diego. Phillip Rivers is going to throw for like 1,000,000 yards. Kansas City is a total disaster. Todd Helly's going to get the boot by like week 10. They're just a mess. Man. And people thought he was going to save the franchise because they made the playoffs last year. Fool's gold in Kansas City. Charlie Weiss, man, you lose Charlie Weiss to the University of Florida, and all of a sudden you're just the worst team in the league. What the hell? That's just offensive coordinator makes that much of a difference. Matt Castle without Charlie Weiss is nothing. He's the worst quarterback in the league. How the hell does that happen? He made the Pro Bowl last year, and now he's a joke without Charlie Weiss. What the hell? It's crazy. San Diego's going to kill him. disaster. Baltimore, St. Louis. Baltimore's pissed off. St. Louis is injured. You're probably not going to have Steven Jackson again this week. A lot of Ray Rice from Rutgers running for the Ravens and stuff. So you could have that. It's going to be another long week in St. Louis. It's going to be another long year in St. Louis because they are taking a step back this year, which is sad because everybody thought they were going to pop this year. Pittsburgh and Indy, Sunday night game. It's in Indianapolis. Kerry Collins versus Ben Roethlisberger. Oh boy. I'm excited. Pittsburgh, they're still mad about that Week 1 game. They are still mad. Can you believe that? For once, we're going to have a blowout on Sunday night. The last couple Sunday night games have been great. This one, not so much. Detroit and Minnesota. In Minnesota, Detroit looks to be a powerhouse. Minnesota looks to be a total disaster, as expected. Thank you very much. And actually, it wasn't. Didn't I pick them to go like 9-7? Oh, that's because they picked up D-Mac. And I was like, yeah, Donovan McNabb. And I was wrong. McNabb's done. There's nothing he can do. He is just too old. He's over the hill. Maybe he's losing the arm strength, and he's just not the same quarterback he was in Philadelphia. It looks like Andy Reid was right about Donovan McNabb. Because I was like, why are you getting rid of him? That's why we're getting rid of him. He did that the last couple years. Ugh. So Detroit might be another blowout for them. It might be close because if Adrian Peterson can keep him in it, but Adrian Peterson can't run for 300 yards. So Detroit's going to have a bit of fun in the Metrodome. Arizona and Seattle. The Seahawks are a mess. Kevin Cobb looks good. So it's in Seattle. Seattle hasn't played at home yet. They are a completely different team at home. Assuming anybody comes to the game, because they're probably like, oh, this team sucks. I'm just not even going to bother. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. I just put it as an average game because I think it's an average game with a couple average teams. I don't think Atlanta's that good. I'm not buying them. I'm not buying them. Like they're taking a step back this year, really. I just don't trust them. There's something about Matt Ryan. He threw 4 touchdown passes last week. That was the worst 4-touchdown game I've ever seen. He threw for like 160 yards. I don't know what's going on, but in the fourth quarter, there's something special about him. But if you're getting your ass kicked in the first 3, I mean, that game against Green Bay, if it was close, they could have won it. But Aaron Rodgers just took over. What are you going to do? Atlanta? I don't know. And it's in Tampa. Josh Freeman, he's mad about Week 1. Played really well in Minnesota. Minnesota's still a tough place to play. Both of these teams are kind of, all right. I mean, they're above average a little, but neither team has really impressed me to this point. And the theme of the day is we will see. That's another game. We will see. And there you go. That's it. Are we missing a game? Honestly, I feel like we're only going to break down 14 games, and there are 15 on the schedule. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Move on. Part 2 coming up next. All the big games this weekend, breaking down the games of the week. There are 5 of them. So we have that to look forward to next. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network.